My name's Bob Jackson. I was the vicar of St Chad's in Lancaster, Skirton, from 1964 to 69. I became very interested in the Pioneer line very shortly after I arrived there, because I shall never forget approaching Scale Hall station from one side as this wonderful, obviously antique electric train was approaching it from the other side, complete with pantograph, which I didn't even know that the Pioneer line, as I called it, existed at all. Things just developed from there, really. Became very friendly with Ernie Whitehouse, who was in charge of the line. I started making models of it, and eventually, of course, I actually filmed it just before it closed down. And that was purely for my own interest. It wasn't professional in any way, but it seems to have gone down quite well in certain circles. I filmed it with a camera that I borrowed from Geoffrey Timms, the son of the chemist at the bottom of Scale Hall Lane. Strangely enough, as an aside, it's only last week that they rang to say that it was 50 years since I took their marriage service, and so they're celebrating a golden wedding. But I borrowed Geoffrey's wind-up camera. I filmed the line from bridge to bridge. I think it ran for 2.5 minutes or something, so I was able to film it. I edited it, and eventually, when technology improved and such things, marvellous things as CDs and DVDs came out, transferred it to a video, it was just one of those things that happened at the time. I've still got quite a lot of souvenirs from the line, including a controller and a pan and a pantograph top. A selection of those number plates are on the uprights on the wooden poles that supported the overhead. And here we are now this morning at this most interesting exhibition. It's been very well put together, and it's quite fascinating. As you go around the exhibition, you'll see certain things that are quite unique, really, in a way. There's a pantograph top, which is about 7 feet from tip to tip, which is very long by modern standards, but it had to be so because of the curves on the track and so on. There's a controller from number 20, but also such things as the key, which was kept in the signal box at Lancaster by the London and North Western Railway, which of course existed when the railway was built at first. The London and North Western insisted on being able to turn off the section between Lancaster Castle and Lancaster Green Area. They were determined, I think, to make sure that they had the final control of the railway. And there's a handle from the door, and so on. It's good that people are coming and having a look at, and to be able to see it displayed. It's been put together very well by Rob Daniels. It's a bit of history, which, of course, is now gone. Making the film was quite fascinating. When I look back now, I wonder, I'm surprised that it came out as well as it did. Anybody who sees it will notice that it wasn't all done on the same day, so suddenly the section will go cloudy or the sun will come out. I enjoyed doing it very much indeed. It was great fun, and it's amazing how much interest was shown by it. I suppose at the time, dare one say, the steam enthusiasts just ignored the electric trains, those things. But once they'd gone, they realised just what it was that they'd missed. And of course it was a piece of history. It was the first electric railway with overhead wires, high voltage, in the British Isles, built by the Midland Railway in 1908. And I also took a sound recorder in the cab and recorded a complete journey from Morecambe to Heysham, Heysham to Morecambe, Morecambe to Lancaster Castle via Green Area and return. And so that also is something that we should never hear again, certainly not in live. It's a bit of history which has been kept. I'm not involved in very much now. Age is overtaking me, but I've certainly still got my memories, and I've got still a lot of material which I collected at the time, black and white photographs, of course. I hope one day perhaps it will go somewhere where it might be kept and appreciated. I tried one or two places. They weren't interested in it in York. I've written to the Midland Society and they didn't bother to answer my letters. So you get to the stage where you think, well, the last thing I want is for it all to go in a skip. But I have a horrible feeling that unless we find someone, it will be a great tragedy, I think.